So we got our first Shedeur Sanders sighting yesterday when he entered the game in the third quarter after Dillon Gabriel suffered a concussion, and his debut did not go as planned. Shedeur was sacked twice, completed just 4 of 16 passes, and threw an interception as the Ravens scored 13 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to secure the 23-16 victory. After the game, Kevin Stefanski confirmed that Shedeur has not had any reps with the first team before taking the field on Sunday. And so, now who are we blaming? Is it Shedeur Sanders not looking prepared, or perhaps maybe the Browns not having him well enough prepared?
I'm definitely blaming Kevin Stefanski and his offensive coordinator. What the hell was going on? You know what? Listen, you're the QB too. Shouldn't you have reps? Correct me if I'm wrong. Listen, we watched a lot of quarterback play over the years. We've seen people inept. We understand limited skill level and stuff like that. What's rare to see is a quarterback that looked grossly ill-prepared to be on the football field. I'm talking about schematically. Really, you complete the first couple of passes, and then after that, you can't find anybody. It made no sense to me. I found it to be very, very suspicious. That's not to big up Shedeur Sanders by any way. All right, he's got a lot to prove, but also what alarmed me is that you're Kevin Stefanski, and you know that Dillon Gabriel is in concussion protocol, and you automatically declare him as a starter next week. Why would you do that? You know, he said he'd be there next week, but he's our guy. That's what he said after the game. Why? You don't know if he's going to be available. You don't know. So why would you say that? It just seemed very eerily suspicious to me. I didn't like what I saw.
Yeah, let me talk about some of the reps that I've seen just constantly get talked about really since this is going on, and Cam can speak to it as well. I was a backup for 99% of my career. I would go weeks upon months without getting reps with the starters. I would just take
QB2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, maybe a little bit more as I got older and I was into 10, 12 years, even less reps. When I was younger, and this is a little bit unique situation because Dillon is the starter. He's also a rookie, so I'm sure the Browns are trying to get him as much reps as possible. Do I find it odd that Shedeur hasn't had a single snap with the starters?
Not one?
Yes. I think Wyatt Teller had said coming out of halftime, it was the first time that the starting offensive line had heard Shedeur's cadence. I think that's odd, yes. But the fact that he hasn't, this reps thing has become this massive conversation. It's more common than not for the backup to not get any reps with the starting group than it is for them to get 4 or 5 reps at practice. And so I don't think that's like this outrageous thing. Shedeur's gonna have to play better. He saw things he's never seen before. He felt speed he's never felt before. Credit Baltimore's defense, but I don't think the reps thing is a lot of what the conversation has been made out to be.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put it this way. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I do not think Kevin Stefanski wants Shedeur Sanders to succeed in Cleveland. The reason being is, don't tell me what he said, don't tell me what he's saying. I'm going off of actions. All right, let's go off actions. The actions is, if I'm Shedeur or if I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan, I would not want him to take the field because that's going to consistently be the display we're going to see. It doesn't matter if it's Deshaun Watson. It doesn't matter if it's Shedeur Sanders. It doesn't matter if it's Dillon Gabriel. It doesn't matter if it's Dan Orlovsky. It doesn't matter if it's Cam Newton. You need help in Cleveland when you have a quarterback that's still making $46 million on your roster and he's not healthy. That impacts the talent that's around him. They are not a good team. But this is the thing that really irks me the most, is because he doesn't get any reps. Circa 2015, circa when Cam Newton was the MVP, circa when, hey, my backup for majority of my career was probably the biggest blessing of my career to have a veteran in Derek Anderson. Ron Rivera still knew we're one play away, kid, from you not being available. We would have anywhere from 6 to 12 reps in every single practice that allowed Derek to still have an ability to say, hey, if it goes, how it goes. Now granted, some will say, well, Cam, you played the position any different. Well, what is that to say about Brock Purdy? Well, what is that to say about any other quarterback that's here? You plan for the what-ifs in this league. You don't know if you're going to have your quarterback. What about Joe Burrow? So for him to not have any reps, for him to have this to be his first time that he's taking first-team reps where individuals don't even know your snap count or your cadence, that is like, no, bro, what are we doing here? Like, you don't control the team's whole overall existence by not allowing individuals to get better. As a head coach, you are responsible for these things. You're responsible for how your team operates and executes, and you also are responsible for each player's development. If you're not, if it's a starter, a free agent, or a second-round player or third-round, you're not doing your job. Kevin Stefanski, bro, that's unacceptable, and I'm going to tell you that on national TV. That's a fileable offense for so many other reasons because, like, what are we doing? You're not developing the guys right, and you're putting all your eggs in Dylan Gabriel? Come on, dog.
Last word, Shannon. Last word, Dan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with Cam. I think it's odd. The only thing is, I don't think Kevin Stefanski's got this ulterior motive of not wanting to see Shedeur have success. He might have gone about this differently and probably should have given him more reps, but it would be odd to me that Kevin Stefanski would have this ulterior motive for Shedeur not to do well.
I'm questioning that now only because he's a coach of the year, Tom Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing
Sure.
on the NFL level. I find it odd that this kind of mistake is being made with Shedeur Sanders. I'm very suspicious about it because Kevin Stefanski is a knowledgeable football mind and an accomplished head
All
coach.
right, last word here, Cam. Hurry up. Go ahead.
So I'll ask you this question. When Joe Flacco was there, did Dylan Gabriel get any first-team reps? Thank you.
I can't even
I don't know that.
I don't know. I don't know, but I know he got more first-team reps in the summer during training camp to Dylan Gabriel, and it didn't sound like Shedeur did until he got that one.
He was the
starter,
backup.
Right.
My point for saying that is Dylan Gabriel was the backup then, and he was giving him first-team reps. So why not give the backup now first-team reps?
I think it's weird. And I think the thing that blew this whole thing open was when they said the offensive line hadn't heard the cadence. Until then, I don't think that was what was weird, I think, for everybody. All right, coming.
But it sure seems like he certainly feels like he's out here by himself.
Again, Dylan Gabriel is in concussion protocol. They do have Bailey Zappi still on the roster, right? So the question is, if Shedeur Sanders gets a full week of work now, we would assume that the expectation is he'll be the starter next week against a subpar Raiders team that, by the way, will be playing on a short week as they play Dallas tonight. Would you expect it to look vastly different and ideally better for Shedeur when he has that week to get ready for next Sunday?
I would expect it to be better because he's getting reps in practice.
Right.
Do people understand how hard it is to come off the bench, not getting any reps in practice, and you're a rookie? Like, going up against this Ravens defense now, it's not the Ravens defense at all, but they've gotten better. Like that's an awfully tough spot for anybody to be placed in. So getting a full week of reps in practice should help him out a lot.
Yeah, it can't be any worse.
Yeah.
I mean, a QBR was what, a 2? Like, you know what I mean? So